Thank you, Sister Don. Praise the Lord, everybody. Praise the Lord, everybody. You know, one of the things that I miss, how we just dance, we don't do that in the synagogue. And I love to dance. I love to dance. Yes. It's a great privilege for me to be here among you, visiting. I go to the synagogue. I attend the synagogue back in, it's not Tampa, it's Bradenton, but it's not too far from where I live. And it's a privilege to be here. I want to thank Brother Sion, his wife, for opening up your doors and welcoming me. And to those of you that don't know me, my name is Sister Claudette. And I know it seems like I've missed some time. Yeah. I missed time from maybe 97, 98 up until now. I know Sion, Brother Sion, Minister Sion, I think at Israel's age?
When I was 10, yeah.
Yeah.
What year you came into the church? Remember what year you came in?
I think it was 89.
Okay, so.
80 something, 89.
Yeah, so I was about 10 years old.
Yeah.
12, 11.
And I remember as a little boy, I don't know how much of you all heard that story. One time his mom was calling him to eat. And he was fasting, little boy, fasting to play the guitar. And as I sit here this morning, before anybody was here, it was his oldest son and his youngest son playing the guitar. And I said, look how that prayer was answered. And then it now passed it, just praying and fasting. And you see how powerful prayer and fasting is? And now it's his oldest son and his youngest son. When I look at these boys, I'm like, wow. Many times we say, oh, we don't see God. God reveals himself to us every day. Imagine knowing Sion from when he was his last son age around there. I'm watching him now with a wife, a big grown man, a daughter, a beautiful daughter. Man, I tell you, God is real. And all of them here, serving God. But God. But God. It's sad that how we all used to worship together, but kind of when we departed, we didn't depart good. And the reason for that is, I'm going to start from the beginning and bring it up to there. You see these little kids here? I heard Minister Sion, when he was praying for somebody, he talked about transgender or something. Let me tell y'all something. Pray for them kids and keep putting positive things in their mind. I was damaged from a kid. I was like a little tomboy. I used to play with the boys. I never really played with dolls. I probably had one doll and that was it. But I'm always interested with playing with the boys and riding bike. And everybody used to say, you should have been a boy. You should have been a boy. You should have been a boy. As I grew and grew, it started to dawn on me, maybe I should have been a boy. I would climb trees, play ball, and maybe I should have been a boy. And as I grew and I grew, I started having attractions for the same sex. Sad. I grew and grew till when I think the first time I started having that attraction, I was in the third grade. In the third grade, when I liked one of my classmates. And I didn't see nothing because, I'm still young. I'm a kid. As I grew older and got into junior high school, that's when it got crazy. started having girlfriends, and got involved in sex, and from there it was out of control. But there was something in me. I knew it wasn't right. As I grew older, I knew it wasn't right. And I had that struggle within me. And there were times I would get mad with God. Why you make me this way? Why? And then I would say, why would you punish me? But you made me this way. There were times when I felt there was a man spirit within me, but outside was just a female. But it was my mind. I went into the church thinking that it would get better. Actually, it got worse. Things were done to me where they thought they was doing something good, but they was damaging me even more. I went through some rough times. Everybody looked at me, oh, when you going to finish with that? When you going to finish with that? But they didn't know the nights I was crying. The church didn't know my struggle. They didn't know my fight. I would cry and pray. I said, God, help me, please. Help me. And I was put out the church. Not because of any sexual activity I did, but something was said to me, and I told the wife. I got thrown out. I didn't know what to do. My son was still small. He was still going to church. He would go. I thought about suicide. I thought, how can I kill myself? I wanted to go to church. I didn't know what to do. And then I thought, if I kill myself, how would that be for my son? My only child. Something in me, I couldn't do it. And I decided to move to Florida. Never been to Florida. I prayed and I fasted. And God brought me to Florida. And for the first time I heard his voice. One day I was home sitting in my living room. And he gave me the scripture, what a man thinketh, so is he. Then I realized it was in my mind. He said, I know you from your mother's womb. I don't make no mistake. He said, I don't. And then he gave me Romans 12:2. He said, you have to renew your mind. Change it from the ways of this world. And once he spoke to me, it lifted and it left. I no longer feel that way. It's gone. And I thank God. I thank God that he had mercy on me. He knew my heart. And when men couldn't see or understand, or me myself couldn't understand, he did. And he knew my heart. And I thank God that we are reunited. It wasn't good because y'all couldn't shake my hand or anything when I was going to church. I walked out I just humbled myself and walked out. I would go at times, but the preaching was homosexual, they nasty, this, that. I couldn't take it no more. Brother, I want to encourage you. The Lord has blessed you to do this work. He has put you in the position that you're in. You don't know a person's heart. I'm going to tell you all something. We couldn't go to church with jewelry, with pants. I mean, it was rough. And I say, wow, brother, don't condemn nobody. That's not our job. Amen. We don't know. Our duty is to love. Amen. To love, because you don't know what a person is going through. You know, I started getting on myself because I said, Claudette, I brought you up in church. But you know what? I said, you know what? He told me one time, Ma, you don't know the relationship I have with God. I backed off. I remember myself. Nobody know the relationship I had with God. And I said, all I could do is pray for my son. Pray for him that the Lord will bring him back. But brother, love. Amen. Love covers all. You know, there are some things we just have to leave to God. Yes. Hallelujah. Some things we just have to leave up to Him. You know, and He'll work it out for the people, because you don't know what's going on in a person's heart. You don't know the nights they're crying on the bed. You don't know. But God knows. God knows. And as long as you continue in that way, just speak the word. Just preach. Just preach. And do your prayer. Pray for people, your healing, and let God do the rest, brother. Let God do the rest. And I leave that with you as a big sister.
I receive it.
Right? And whoever the young kid is, keep letting him know who he is and how God make him and who he's supposed to be, because the mind, they say it's a terrible thing to waste. It is. The battlefield is in the mind. It's in the mind. And it was in my mind. And God had to clear it up. And you don't know the peace that I have. I can look at a woman and it doesn't bother me. That doesn't even bother me. And sometimes the devil will try and send somebody to talk to you or whatever, and I will say, Mama, get you behind me, Satan. Get you behind me, Satan. So God is good. Continue to pray. I don't know whoever is going through something in here. There's a struggle within. Continue to pray. Continue to pray, because God is going to answer your prayer one day. And whatever the struggle is, He's going to remove it. That was my struggle. It happened to me to help others. Yes. Whoever went through something is to help somebody else. I remember one time I was coming from, I think I dropped off some clothes to the cleaners or something, and I never forget that story that the guy told me. We ended up talking. They asked me if I was a registered voter, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, the conversation came. He told me, we was talking about helping others and reaching out to others, and he gave me this little story. He said, one time a guy was passing, and he fell in a hole. He was walking, probably not minding his business. He fell in a hole. Somebody came by, heard him screaming, help, help. The guy that was passing by looked, tried to reach down, tried to get him out. He couldn't get him out. He keep going. I said, sorry, I can't help you. Second person came by, heard the guy in the hole yelling, help, help, somebody help me, please. He looked, he tried, reaching down. He himself couldn't reach him. I said, brother, I could try to get some help for you, but I really can't. I tried. Third person that passed by, help, help, help. He looked down, he saw the person down there. He jumped in the hole. So the person that was in the hole, he looked at him and like, okay, well, that was a stupid thing to do. Because I'm in the hole, you're in the hole, now we're both in the hole. He said, no, follow me, I've been here before. And that stuck with me. I don't know why he told me that story, but it stuck with me. And God told me, you've been there before. Help others. Amen. Help those that are struggling. Yes. And right now my intention is to write a book. I started. It should have been finished already, but I started. And pray that I will finish this book, and this book will help somebody else behind that has the same struggle. So I pray that my little testimony encourage whoever. You know, sometimes we don't see anything, but we have our struggles. I pray that they will touch and continue praying for that little child. Anoint him. Tell the kids positive things, you know, because nowadays people figure, well, he acting like a boy, he be gay. Today the world accept that. I was filling out some information to the doctor's office, and I see gay, bisexual, transsexual. I was like, this is what the world coming to? Oh my God. It's not female or male no more. So we have to pray, and we have to pray for our kids. I'm already praying for my grandbaby, and it's still in the womb. I'm already praying for that baby. I'm praying because the world is out of control. We want to know with the wildfires going on in California and all things that are happening, but they forget when they light up the White House in the rainbow colors, mocking God. And God, Holy Shabbat, they take down the American flag and put up this gay flag and had that thing downtown Tampa. That wasn't a good thing. So we have to continue in prayer. Continue in prayer. Pray for the kids. Again, I can instill more and more to talk to them in positive light. Let them know who they are. And if you see something strange, don't just ignore it. Because I was ignored. But God works in a mysterious way. He saved me. I'm one out of billions that have been saved, so praise God for that. And this I leave with you in Yeshua's name.